Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Hashem, for waking me up to another amazing fucking day of my life. I live to serve you, my Lord. So, I needed to take a break because I needed to take a break from work today. Yo, I don't stop. What's the point? I don't know. I think we probably would have gotten into this already, but what was I just working on? The years of reflection, which is going really well. Yo, that writing, when I'm writing in that group, I'm channeling some fucking amazing stuff. I'm not lying in there. Like, everything that I'm writing is as it's coming to me. As I'm not being authentic. That's it. But it's interesting to see some of the stuff that comes out, because I'm going to like really far out places with you too. With you. It's amazing. I like watching it. I like the process of how this is all working. Like yesterday, so I started the Days of Reflection project. Hold on, I gotta lower this. So when did I start the Years of Reflection? I started it like two nights ago. But what's happening is I'm going through all my books on the predefined dates. And I think originally what I was going to do, well, what's happening is like it's helping me, one, relive those moments, but it's also take me even further, because I'm not because what I'm doing is I'm reading and then writing directly afterwards, and everything is being directed at you. What I started to notice is I'm not talking to myself so much anymore, but I'm talking to you. And by talking to you, it's how do I put it? It's helping me go fucking really deep. Some of the memories being brought up to the surface are challenging as fuck to deal with, but like last night, I read back to, I think it was leading up to I started with the week before I quit my job. It was the week before I quit my job. And knowing where the story goes, it was bringing me back to experiences that I had with people, and even going further back, beyond from when I started writing. Experiences with April and my neighbors and my friends and my family. But I'm finding myself like fucking bawling my eyes out. bawl my eyes out over these old wounds that have been like lingering inside of me for so long. It's fucking awesome to tap into that and to heal that wound, because where the real success of this project is going is that it's clearing out those past wounds and helping me realign my past with where I'm at right now. And it's given me a clearer picture, a clearer understanding of how we got here and why we're here. And mind you, I'm at a point with all of it, because what we have? We have the Years of Reflection project, we have the Doom project, we have the Book of Air, we have the Torah studies. And what's really fascinating, and I started to notice this in the last post I did in the group, but how all of these separate projects are all tying in together. And how they're all related to each other in one way or another. That isn't overt. But a lesson I'm learning from one is relative to internal experiences that are taking place with another. But it's getting pretty wild, though. I don't know how to explain it. It's hard to explain when I'm talking about it, because I'm getting into visions of potential futures of you and me, which is predominantly what I keep on seeing, is this of how all of this work is leading up to a point where you and I are together. And from a perspective, from a regular perspective, I could see how that's challenging to see. At least for me. There's a lot of like, this is too good to be true. This is too good to be true. I don't know what to say, because I feel wrong with including you on this, because it's like I'm telling you what's gonna happen when I don't know what's gonna happen. But more importantly, whether what I see is gonna happen or not, whether what I'm seeing is going to happen or not, that's really not relevant. Of course, what I'm seeing is what I want. What I want isn't necessarily what I need. It's been my experience that what I need trends to be what I don't want. And again, like I continually write this, which is true. Is you may be seeing this stuff, you may never see this stuff. But going back to my old writing, this was already this has been happening since the very beginning. And for me, it's not about being right or wrong. It's just about getting it out. And allowing these feelings to be expressed. which is fucking amazing. Because it's like everything that I've been holding on to, and everything that I'm like so married to, these ideas and these thoughts and these wants, these desires. The more that I get it out of me, the more that I'm opening myself up for what is going to come that I have no control over. In that book that I finished in the group the other day, Shar HaBitahon, maybe about a month or two ago, in an earlier chapter, it's going on about how we are only responsible for about 2/3 of our free will. Our free will can only go so far. We can make the choice to follow who we are on the inside, and we can choose to take actions that are in alignment with who we are. But everything else is outside of our control. Just because we make the choice to do something doesn't mean that the external factors are going to be nurturing to the potential of us carrying out that action. So for instance, I'm about 10 minutes late with this recording. My original intention, I should already be 10 minutes ahead of myself. But as I was walking out of the house, I decided to ask Mike for a cigarette. And then asking Mike for a cigarette led into a conversation, and then Mike and we started talking for about 10-15 minutes, which held me up. But not that it was a waste of my time or anything like that. No, it was good. But that's what I mean. I didn't intend for that conversation to happen and to go on for as long as it did. I made the choice to come out here and start recording, which I wasn't even going to. I was actually just going to come out for a walk, but then as I was getting up, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I have the phone. Why don't I just fucking record and just get some shit off my chest? And that's exactly how the rabbi explained it, is, are we going to make the choice into going into alignment with who we are? Yeah. Are we going to make the choice to carry out an action? Yeah. But now everything else is up to God. Thank you, Hashem. But you know, it's being where I'm at right now and going back to those old books and seeing where I was and how this all started. Yo, it is fucking phenomenal. I wish you could see this. But and the reason I say that is because I wish you could see how difficult and easy it is at the same time. Because something I was looking through last night. When I was working through the entries last night, I'm doing 4 a day. 2 in the first half of the day, 2 in the second half of the day. And I got up to the entry that takes place a week after I quit my job. And then we get into the entry from 2 weeks after I quit my job. And what I was doing at that point, and how after I quit my job, like everything just started to happen perfectly. Everything started just to fall right into alignment with where I wanted it to be. I started doing all these readings for people. I was doing readings left and fucking right. Prior to quitting the job, like a week before I quit my job, in that entry, I even get into, like, I have to get rid of this place. Like, what's gonna happen? What do I do? What are my choices? I can either quit the job right now, or I don't. What's gonna happen if I quit my job right now? I've been getting this feeling lately that you're on a point, you're on the verge, that you're like done, just about done. As I was writing today, I was having this flashback to when we talked. I had this flashback to the day that we talked last. And I said to you, when you're in your house by yourself, your environment's going to be changed. In the sense that you're going to have no choice but to have to face certain aspects of your life that you may have been trying to avoid, and or maybe things that you wanted to have been looked at before but never had the chance to. Having that new environment, having that new external environment around you is going to force you to have to think outside your relative comfort zone. But I keep on thinking about you and what you're possibly going through. And how this is more than likely putting you in a position where you have to start thinking differently for yourself and start thinking about what the fuck it is that you're going to be doing in the future. Like, where do you want your future to go? And what's cool about that, relative to me doing the Years of Reflection project, is the fact that where I believe that you are at right now, today's the 2nd of November, or 3rd. But what I keep on sensing is like you're in the same position that I was in right before I quit my job. I believe that you're seeing a new perspective on reality that was a little bit blinded, that you were a little bit blinded to before. And that you're finally starting to go, I'm done, I'm tired of this shit. I can't do this no more. I don't want to do this shit no more. The money ain't worth it no more. Which is exactly where I was at the week before I quit. And like I said, what I was writing was, I got two choices. What's gonna happen if I quit right now? I have no idea. If I were to quit my job right this fucking minute, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. But I can tell you exactly what's gonna happen if I don't. If I don't quit right now, this job is gonna continue to fucking beat me down. It's gonna continue fucking sucking off my soul. And it's just gonna, my life experience is just gonna be more and more shit. Then we fast forward one week. I'm right. I did it. I'm fucking done. This is gonna be my first week unemployed in 13 fucking years. See, but now, here's the thing, right? People get caught up in this trap. Like, I don't, you know what? I'm not going to talk to anyone else's experience because I really don't know. I don't know what other people do. All I know is what I did. See, people, I remember, I was told, I've always been like, had this fear put in my head. You ever lose your job, you're going to be on the streets. You run out of money, you'll be on the streets. But that's assuming that I'm that fucking lazy and that fucking stupid that I can't figure it out on my own. And that was the point of getting rid of the job, is I can't continue to rely on someone else. And I'm going to turn this back around on you, is that right now, maybe you're having this realization, maybe you're about to have this realization, maybe you already had it. How much longer are you going to continue living your life relying on someone else to wipe your ass for you? And that's what Uncle Hugo's doing, essentially. You go to that fucking place. Listen, I don't give a fuck if you're making $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, $100,000 a year. You're probably making around 50, I would imagine, with the commission. It's fucking peanuts. You're going nowhere with that. I don't know what your vision of the future is. I don't know what kind of like fucking legacy you want to leave behind in your life. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when Christopher is home, I remember last week Christopher was home and I was making food, and I saw him watching. He was on the couch and he was watching some YouTube video of like these $50 million houses. And I'm thinking in my head, you know, you can watch them shits all day. But working at Hugo Boss, you ain't never gonna get that. The video is all real estate agents. They're walking through these fucking $50 million houses, estates. Who's the owner? What does that person do? Who was the person that's selling that house? How the fuck did they afford that thing in the first place? And where are they moving to? I can't be an employee. I'm a terrible employee. My mother and I were talking about this morning. I'm a fucking terrible employee because I go extra. I go so extra that everybody hates me. And for good reason. I don't want to be doing this shit. Just like I'm sure you don't want to be doing that shit. Like, you don't get to take it serious. Do you really get to take your job seriously? Like, seriously to the point that you want to take it. Like, how do I say it? Like, what are you getting out of the experience? Take the money out of the equation. What are you getting out of the experience? Are you getting anything? This is a lot of where I was at the time. Well, mind you, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know about you. I don't even know what I do know about you. Fucking put it like that. But at the point in my journals where we're at, like I have already been, even when we started the project, which I think was June 6th, that was the first entry that I read, June 6th. It was 3 days after I started writing. But at that point, I still had the job. I hadn't started reading cards for people at all. I was having the idea of what I wanted to do because I had already been studying magic, astrology, tarot, and Hebrew for 6 months at that point. Well, not even 5 months. And that was with a 40-hour-a-week job. It's not until the 15th of June in 2018 where Desmond and we went out to Barnes & Noble and I got the Demon Tarot deck, which is what I ended up using to read cards for people. And the main idea from that the main idea behind it all was that I wanted to figure out a way to use tarot cards and astrology and magic and Hebrew to help people wake the fuck up. Wake up from what? Wake up from the fucking bullshit, the lies. Wake up from the illusion that this world fucking puts on us. I mean, I was just talking to Mike, my stepfather. I was talking to him for about 15 minutes about the state of the world and the election coming up. But you know what? All of it's a lie. It's all bullshit. Everything you see on the news is all fucking made up. It's all scripted. Somebody wrote that script so that when you watch it, you hear and think what they want you to hear and think how they want you to think. Now, that is a proponent. Knowing how to think and knowing what to think, those are two different things. They tell you what to think. They don't tell you how to think. They tell you what to think. And if you think in a different way than they do, then you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of garbage. You're a fucking Nazi. You're this. You're that. You hate this country. You hate the blacks. You hate the whites. You hate the rich. You hate the poor. You hate the Jews. Fuck that. You hate yourself. And you know what? Where's the politicians? Where's the politicians that are calling out like the fucking banks and the fucking stupidity of the American people? Why are you putting yourselves into fucking debt? Why are you putting shackles on yourself with mountains of debt? And then putting more shackles on yourself with fucking soul-sucking jobs just so that you can afford to barely live and spend the rest of your life paying off the debt just so you can live what? This ain't no fucking American dream. I'll fucking tell you that right goddamn now. When the founders founded this fucking place, it wasn't to fuck people up the ass with fucking decades worth of fucking debt that you're gonna have to fucking slave away at a mindless job just to fucking pay off. I mean, granted, that's your freedom. You want to live like a fucking slave? Hey, you're free. You want to be a fucking debt slave? You want to be a wage slave? That's what this is. That's what you are. That's what I was. That's what my entire family is. That's what my entire community is. Every single fucking person we walk by is a fucking debt slave and a fucking wage slave. My stepfather, he called fucking Donald Trump the Messiah. Fuck that shit, man. He ain't my Messiah. I'm gonna tell you that right motherfucking now. You wanna know my Messiah? My Messiah is me. It took me 6 fucking years to fucking break free of all that bullshit. You know, I had no money, right? I ain't got money. I ain't had money for fucking 6 months. 7 months, right? We're in the month of Cheshvan. This is month number 8. I haven't had money since month number 1. We're going on 8 fucking months I've been without money. I haven't had my unemployment stopped. I haven't had a fucking paycheck since a year and a half. Since Uncle Hugo fucking canned me. You know why? Aside from the fact that we're working on a Bitahod project where I'm relying on God to provide me with everything that I need. And to not be afraid to ask for things. Like a cigarette. Hey, Mike, can I have a cigarette? We spend our lives being trained to fucking rely on money. Now, mind you, I rely on God. That's one of the perks of being a Jew. And I don't need all that shit. And now, I hear it. Yeah, but you're living in your mom's house. You're eating their food. I know. Listen, do you think that's what I want? Do you think that's really what I want? Do you think I wake up oh man, I cannot wait. Thank you God for making my family a bunch of fucking slaves for Atlantic City so that I can fucking eat some scraps once in a while. Fuck no. I have just enough to survive so that I can continue working so that I can keep pushing myself forward. I can't go back. There is no going back for me. I refuse to fucking go back. My God will not let me go back. I ain't a fucking slave. This is the shit that I said to fucking April long fucking time ago. We brought Desmond to go see the Lego movie. That fucking movie, that's the movie that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I went to fucking April and I said to her, these fucking motherfuckers, they're making fun of us. They see us as a fucking joke. They see us as fucking robots, as slaves. And they're fucking pounding it into the fucking kid's head. Fuck that shit. I'm tired of relying on other people to fucking pave my way for me and to fucking pay my bills for me. Fuck that shit. But being without money, what are the perks about being without money? And being a God-fearing man, because that's a big part of it, is that every day that I don't rely on money to save me, I rely on God. And it's fucking nerve-wracking. It's fucking terrifying. The parts of my journals, we haven't even gotten to the parts of my journals where I ran out of money yet. I'm still in my condo. I'm living it up. I still got a couple thousand in the bank. I'm doing readings left and right. I'm not even charging people for these readings. I'm not even bringing money up. Because that's not the point. Because I'm at a point where I'm at is integrity over money. I want to be the best at what I can do, but I don't want money to fucking start muddying up the waters where I'm only doing what I'm doing for money, because that's where the slavery comes in. And you know what? I get it. Like, our employers don't literally have shackles on us. You can walk out of your fucking job anytime you want. Exactly. You're the fucking slave master. You're the slave and the master. You tell yourself what you're going to do. You tell yourself what you're going to do every time that your fucking manager or your boss, whatever the fuck you want to call them, tells you who you got to be. And that's what employment's all about. Employment's all about telling you who you got to be so that I pay you a check. I'm going to pay you to be who I want you to be. You aren't you. You are not you. You have no free will. Your free will belongs to me now. There's a great saying that I saw online. I fucking loved it. I saw it at like one of those short videos on Facebook. It says, "You may not come from $1 billion family, but $1 billion family should come from you." And you know what? That's my intention. Everything I'm doing right now is predicable of the future. That's what I'm working for. But it was also wisely said, you can only see as far into the future as you're willing to look in the past. If you're not willing to look at the past, go fuck yourself. You'll never see the future. You're always going to be living right now. And I know people say, oh, you got to live right now. You got to live for the moment. You got to live for the moment. But here's the thing, sweetie. The moment right now was written years ago. Nothing you can do can change tomorrow. Tomorrow is already written for you. Tomorrow's already written for me. It's written for everybody. This election, people are fucking bugging out over this election. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta vote for this one, you gotta vote for that one. Fuck that, the election has already been decided. I ain't saying that it's rigged, even though it's rigged. But the election results are already done. And we get two fucking choices. We live by their rules, or we live by our own rules. Most people don't have the fucking balls to fucking start making up their own rules. Which is probably a good thing, because people aren't very good at making up rules. That's why I put all my trust in God and fucking Torah and follow those rules. Because those rules cannot be broken. And as long as you live your life by those rules, ain't nobody can fucking take them away from you. Ain't nobody can fucking take you away from you. This is going to be a very short video because the phone's going to die any minute. So we're going to go back and we're going to continue pumping out all that fucking goodness that's coming out of me. Because it's dawned on me, where I'm at, I can't get through it alone. I mind you, in that group, and I talk about it constantly. Just your digital presence is enough to propel me, to lure me forward. You get to act, your digital presence gets to act as that fucking carrot over my head. But that's exactly what I need right now. Because in a year from now, shit. Listen, baby doll, I don't know where the fuck I'm going to be in a year from now, but I'm going to tell you right now, that where I'm at in 1 year is a whole lot more magical than where I am right now. And where I am right now is fucking amazing. But I wonder where you're at. I wonder how things are going for you. I want to ask, but I can't. I'm not allowed to. Those are part of the rules. I can't interfere with your life. In the sense that if we're gonna loop back around and bump into each other again, I have to let it happen naturally. Which I pray to my Lord that it happens sooner than later, but I do got a shit ton of more work that I gotta do. So where are we at? We're up to chapter 6 on Dune. We're about to finish the introductions. We finished the introductions for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius last night. I got one more piece of the introduction to finish, and then we get into the fucking meat. So what that's going to do is, evolutionary astrology, which is what that book is based on, evolutionary astrology is not like regular astrology. This isn't like an introduction book. Even though I think no, it's not an introduction book. This is more of an advanced. Because in evolutionary astrology, it doesn't focus on what your sun sign is. Nobody gives a shit what your sun sign is. It's important, but it's not as important as your moon. It's not as important as where your houses are. But what do the houses mean? What do they represent? What aspects of your psyche does each sign represent? Not even just your psyche, but each of the 4 elements within you. What is it that drives you? What is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you want? What's the destination that you see? And now here's the thing, because a lot of it is self-indulgence. How much of what we do is self-indulgent? Like this. That's self-indulgent to me. But at the same time, as a servant of God, I'm serving myself by serving Him. Because He knows what's best for me a lot more better than I do. He, she, whatever the fuck you want. If you try to limit, if you try to constrict God down into a fucking gender, it's not God that you're limiting, it's yourself. Which comes back down to everything that we do. What can't you do? What's too impossible for you to fucking do? Oh, it's impossible for me to be like you. It's only as impossible as you fucking tell yourself that it is. Because I can tell you right now, there ain't nothing that's too impossible for me. I look at this fucking group, I look at the shit that I've done. Already, we're only a month into this year. And I can already tell that everything that I've done so far over these last 4 weeks in that group, well, I've been in that group for 2 weeks. I've been playing with that, working on that. And already I can see how it's making last year look like I wasn't even fucking trying. Am I pushing myself too hard? I don't think so. I don't feel like I've gone too far with anything, and that I'm not pushing myself past beyond. I'm not breaking myself. Put like that, right? I'm not saying I could keep on putting more shit on my plate, even though I got all these ideas of things that I can do to put more on my plate. But I know that once I do, as we progress forward with that group, I'm going to put more on my plate because I want more on my plate. I want to push myself to the point where I want to quit.